Well, used car sales in July remained largely flat. That's according to the latest data from Clutch, in part due to many jobs being shed, shifting people away from making large purchase or large ticket item purchases. So for a look at what's taking shape in the used car market, we're joined live this morning by Dan Park, the CEO of Clutch. Dan, nice to meet you this morning. Glad you're here. This is an interesting one because during the pandemic, even the price of a used car kind of went through the roof because, you know, there was a supply chain on the new cars. Everyone's having difficulties now. Now, a few years out of that, we're seeing the price coming down. What seems to be at play here?
That's right. The market had a pretty big correction last year and prices were down significantly. Mm-hmm. In 2025, prices are kind of back up. Mm-hmm. July prices are for used cars at $33,614, which is slightly down from last year. Last month, but about 6% up from last year. And so we've largely wiped out the correction from last year.
Right.
And prices are holding strong, largely because of demand.
Yeah. What about the tariffs? How do the tariffs play into this? Because, of course, we know so much about the Canadian automotive industry. It's really a North American one. It's tied back and forth. That's for new. What about for used?
Yeah, we haven't seen anything really material in tariffs impacting used cars at the moment. Mm-hmm. We do anticipate if tariffs are implemented and are extensive, they will trickle down to the used car market. You know, tariffs are obviously bad for consumers and will continue to increase prices.
Yeah.
But to date, we haven't seen anything. And so if people are anticipating tariffs, the smart move would be buy now.
I suppose if you're anticipating tariffs, it may just be on your job potential, or maybe you feel like you're a little bit anxious and therefore the big ticket purchase may not happen. But quite frankly, Dan, the reality is in the GTA, you don't need a car, but you kind of need a car to get around. I mean, I'm a commuter. I come in from Burlington to Scarborough every day. You know, it's one of those things. So it's a purchase people ultimately have to come around to. What are the trends in terms of what vehicles people are buying? What are the ones that are sort of most, sought out on Clutch?
Yeah, we're seeing a lot of strength in compact SUVs right now. Things like the Nissan Rogue or the Ford Escape are seeing price strength. Dependable sedans like the Honda Civic and the Toyota Corolla are also seeing some price strength. Pickup trucks like the GMC Sierra, Chevy Silverado, Ford F-150, still very popular, super dependable, hold their value. Right now, only 1 in 5 trucks are below $30,000. And all this data is for cars that are newer than 2015 and less than 200,000 kilometers.
Right, okay, that's interesting. Now, you talk about the sort of correction and then the last month's numbers here. Are you able, Dan, to sort of take a look now and say, hey, this is what we think we're going to be seeing during the fall if people are maybe thinking about picking up a vehicle?
So right now what we're seeing is really supply and demand dynamics. There was a missing generation of cars between 2021 and 2023. So about 15 million cars globally weren't produced due to those supply chain shortages and semiconductor shortages. And as a result, we have a huge swath of cars that aren't being traded in or being sold right now as used vehicles. And so we anticipate continued price strength over the next several months until really a lot of those supply chain shortages continue to work themselves out over the next few years.
That is interesting. Dan, I'm also curious. I've seen the ads for Clutch. I'm curious about how your platform kind of works here. If I wanted to sell my car, do I just sort of log in and say, hey, I've got funnily enough, I drive a Rogue with X number of kilometers and you offer me a price?
That's right. Yeah. So we're a technology company at the core. And so we've invested a ton of money into technology to be able to price cars in real time. And so if you come online and put your license plate information in, we will automatically generate an instant cash offer for your vehicle. You answer a series of about a dozen questions. We then take those cars. About half of those will meet our retail standard. And so we've built large reconditioning facilities here in Toronto and elsewhere where we bring those cars in, we do the full brakes, detailing, cosmetic, air filters, rotors, tires, we do the whole works to fix those cars up, and then we put those online in a very seamless way, and people can then buy those online, and every car comes with a 10-day money-back guarantee.
Fascinating tech platform as well. I appreciate you breaking down the numbers for the month as well. Dan, nice meeting you this morning. Thanks for being here.
Yeah, appreciate it.
Good to chat.